Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Superteam Ecosystem Community Call. Very excited about this. We've been putting this together for the last week or so, and hoping that it's going to make everybody's morale a little bit higher and be a fun and kind of interesting update on what builders across the ecosystem are doing. All right. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to try to get out of here in about 55 minutes. So inshallah, that can actually happen. The agenda is pretty quick. We got a bit of a welcome section. That's what's going on right now. Then we're going to go about 5 minutes into the wins of the month. So I just want to showcase some of the great things that have happened across the ecosystem over the last 4 weeks. We'll then transition into the state of Solana. We'll get some updates on the developers, on the community, on NFTs, on the validators, from some real subject matter experts. And then we'll go into what I'm calling the Quic Updates. It's a little play on words, a little Solana quick. They're just going to be lightning fast 2-minute updates from a bunch of different teams. And if you wanted the alpha, if you were coming here for the alpha, you're about to get it. Tristan dropping backpack codes in the chat right now live. Love to see it. All right. Before we go any further, though, I want to invite to the stage Akshay BD, who works as the head of new markets over at the Solana Foundation, and then also is one of our colleagues here at Superteam. Akshay, take it away.
Hey, all. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to keep this to 60 seconds and sort of like talk through the purpose of doing this more, especially after after the recent events. I think the idea is for us, we've been trying to expand the footprint of Solana, whether it's developers, artists, users outside into international markets. That's sort of what my team works on at the foundation. I also heavily participate in the Superteam ecosystem just because I think that there should be some synergistic relationship between the Solana Foundation and the various communities around the world that are building and incentivized to build on Solana. And Superteam was one of them, helped incubate in the early days, but I'm also part of other communities. And so I think this is an experiment in seeing if we can fill the void left by some of our former friends with 1,000 communities instead of 2 or 3 other big VCs. There's the same kind of institutional financial players, and it would be ideal if those voids and those craters left in the ecosystem are filled by people who are actually building building products and shipping code and doing things that are actually scarce, right? Capital, like you've seen capital go through its cyclical trends, and sometimes it's abundant, sometimes it's not, but talent has always been scarce. And so this is a small effort toward supporting communities that are focused around organizing themselves around talent and shipping, like we like to say learn, earn, and build initiatives. And so this is sort of the purpose of the call. Is for the first time we're doing this with the entire ecosystem, or at least where the disparate parts of the ecosystem that are not part of the same community. So hopefully it's valuable. We're going to close off towards the end of the year and break into holiday season. So this is like a nice positive call and note to end this on, and I'm very excited for all the teams that are presenting updates. With that, thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate everyone's time and excited for this.
Yeah, cheers to Akshay. Cheers to everybody for coming out. Last thing I will say as far as the agenda goes is just a little quick warning. This is experimental, right? This is the first time we're trying it. We do community calls at Superteam itself every week, and we've been doing that for about a year now. But this is the first time we're trying it at this kind of scale with 15 different panelists from like 18 different time zones and all this kind of stuff. So the goal is simple. It's just to here, have a good time, celebrate what's been built. And then just 3 kind of general guidelines. Number 1, we're going to try to keep this as fun and as fast as possible. This is not meant to be like a hardcore pitch session for each of the projects. It's to say, here's what we do. Here's what we've done in the last month. We're still here. We're still building. Point number 2, the chat is where all the action goes down. So like, please be super active in there. Spam it with whatever comes to mind, basically questions and so forth. We do also have Q&A going. So if you want to ask Q&A questions, that should be in your Zoom bar. You can ask those. We'll try to answer those as we go through. And then finally, I encourage everybody to stay until the end because we have 2 very fun surprises. One is a very funny little surprise, and then one is a prize with some money attached to it. So if you like money, it's a great time to stick around. All right, that should do it for now. Let's kick off with some of the wins of the month. And spoiler alert, there were a lot of them. Win number one, which people might have seen here, Stripe has debuted its fiat to crypto payments on-ramp. And 11 of the 16 programs that are included in it are actually built on Solana. So if you can, drop a little W in the chat for none other than the Solana BD team. You know, there's other chains that get some more love on the BD side, but Solana BD, they're out there working, boys. I got to tell you that. Yes, the W's flying in the chat. All right, excellent. Win number two. Discord has announced linked roles using Solana. So now you can assign custom roles in Discord based on whatever your members might hold in their wallet or how much activity they have in their wallet, how recent is it, and so on. So a bunch of different shout outs to people that worked on this deal down below, but another massive W. I can't tell if the W's are still coming from win number one or for win number two, and I don't care. Let's just keep them going. Win for two. There we go. Yeah, W2, I appreciate that. It's helpful. Win number three, we're still talking BD. We're still talking mainstream. Introducing Match Day, a free-to-play game that allowed people to build up their squads during the World Cup, an official partner for FIFA and FIFA Pro, which is just fantastic, bringing Solana to a more mainstream audience here. And then win number four, the Saga pre-orders are now open across a few more countries. That's 33 countries. If you already have a Saga phone, put a little +1 in the chat, and then we can see if anyone here has got one or has already ordered. Srijani is a -1, so a few folks, not just yet. But Solana Mobile, going to be giant. Solana Saga, going to be awesome. Definitely worth checking that out. Another major win. Here's win number 5, right? Shout out to our friends at Orca. Ori, Utaro, and the rest of the folks there crossed $32 billion in cumulative trading volume and $1 billion in the first 3 weeks of November. So just love to see Solana DeFi still having some activity. Of course, it goes without saying, Solana DeFi has had a few troubles over the last month as well, but that does not mean the top teams aren't there, still building and crushing it. Yeah, Orca W, very much well-deserved. Win number 6, OpenBook has been integrated into Radium and Jupiter and averaging more than $1 million of volume on Sol USDC. OpenBook just, there's no other way to talk about it besides like a heroic story. So Max Schneider, aka Mango Max, is actually going to be here if he is not already. He'll come up on stage and tell us a little bit more about what's going on with OpenBook in just, maybe 15 minutes. But shout out to him and shout out to the rest of the team for, really doing the Lord's work. Can I get a W6 in the chat just for Max and these heroes out here? Yeah, there we go. Starting to come through. All right, win number 7, Magic Eden has launched the Open Creator Protocol featuring dynamic royalties, bulk transfers, and much, much more. There has been a lot of activity happening on the NFT side around royalties and open source standards. We're going to hear more about this as well from Alex from Blocksmith Labs in, again, just a little bit. But shout out to Magic Eden. I lost track of the W's. Yeah, these are too many W's almost. That's win number 7. Can we go to win number 8? Can we get a little W8 for going open source? Shout out to Jito Labs, building just fantastic everything, basically. This MEV boosted validator client. You can access it through squads. You can use it for a bunch of different ways, help decentralize the network, get some more rewards, smash that W8 button, Jito Labs. We love seeing stuff going open source here. Speaking of open source, our friends at UXD, Kento and the team, also going open source with UXD, which is a very interesting kind of algorithmic stablecoin that does not have the same kind of Ponzi properties as some of the others that we've seen in the past. But W open source all the way. Win number 10, and I promise now we're 2/3 of the way there. Superteam has gone global. So in the past few weeks, we've actually launched Vietnam, Germany, and Turkey. I'll explain more what that means in a little bit. But a lot of shout outs to the awesome partners that we have leading that, including Tamar, An, Guljan, and many others. All right, win number 11, Ellipsis Labs has announced Phoenix. Tamar WIC in the chat, very much well-deserved. Win number 11, Ellipsis Labs announced Phoenix, a DEX with an on-chain, non-custodial crankless order book. This is DeFi innovation happening right in front of us, guys. And it's being done by Jerry and a bunch of other just giga-brain devs. Win number 12, I think everyone, if you're on crypto Twitter, it's hard to avoid Mert these past few weeks. Mert has come out loud and clear and swinging. Big Daddy Mert, says Armani, that's right. Unfortunately, Mert was going to join us. An emergency came up, so he was not able to come. But Mert has stayed shipping. In addition to shipping on Twitter, he's been shipping shipping some code as well. Webhook latency is down by 10x. Just incredible. Love to see that. And he's on that. Soulblaze says in the chat, under every Twitter post, you can use Helios APIs for that. Shout out to Helios, continuing to build. Thinking of building, shout out to Squads, Stepan and the team, introducing account abstraction and really getting these multi-sig roles programs out there such that people can actually implement this. If you're not already hip to it, account abstraction could be the biggest or like one of the biggest breakthroughs for kind of consumer UX of getting onboard into crypto. Super, super excited about this. Some Win 13s coming through, some Win 10s. People, there's too many wins. Win 14. Binance has custody for Solana assets. I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised when I saw this coming through, but love to see it. Obviously, Binance is the biggest game in town, and they're going to be able to onboard institutions in a big way to Solana. A little bit of a shout out to the Solana BD team. Here we go again. CZ is our friend now, says Parg. That's right. The BD team at Solana, man, they're doing good work, gotta say. I should also point out, I don't think anyone from Solana Foundation besides Akshay will be speaking on this call. It's very much meant to be the rest of the community filling in. But that doesn't mean we can't appreciate our friends from the foundation at the same time. And then finally, win number 15. The local fee markets are live. This is a screenshot of a tweet from like 5 minutes ago. Priority fees are doing a great job managing spam. Love to see it. It's still got to be integrated by all the wallets and the RPCs and everything else, but the Solana Labs gang has been shipping. I think that's all the wins for the week, the basic or the wins for the month. The general point here, as you can tell, that was just 5 minutes straight of like good and impressive and important news that's happening. And I think it's important that we celebrate all the good stuff here. Win 16 for cash. Shout out to Gijo. Appreciate that. W1 through 15, says Tony. That's absolutely right. I hear Super Team is win solvent, says Chase Parker. That's pretty good. Fantastic. All right. We're going to keep the good times rolling now and start to talk about the state of Solana. As a reminder, if you have any questions that you want to pop in, use the Q&A feature so we can see those as well. All right. Oh, 1 million GDP, says Tony. Shout out the Super Team GDP. That is also a win, but a little bit more specific. All right. Let's go over to Solana at a glance. This slide has a bunch of big numbers. The big thing to really realize here, and the thing I want to just kind of reassure people about, Solana is not some kind of like new startup, right? Like this is a chain that is really cranking at a higher level than most other chains and can do it for a long time, right? 25 million non-voting transactions per day, 4,000 TPS, right? Active wallets, 340,000, just going up and up and up, right? So love to see the good things that are happening over here. And on the developer side, we're seeing a lot of growth, right? And a lot of interesting growth. So we have a few big numbers here, more than 400,000 weekly or downloads of the Solana Web3.js program, 3,000 weekly commits to top open source repos, programs getting used. You can see the GitHub repository line, up only. Shout out to, I shouldn't say that. Almost gave a shout out to Suzu for the up only joke. But no shout outs to Suzu. Shout out to the GitHub developers who are actually shipping here. And we have almost 9,000 registrations for the Solana Core course. What is the Solana Core course, you might be wondering? Well, let me pass it over to my good buddy Farhaj from BuildSpace, who can tell us a little bit about all the great work they've been doing to onboard developers onto Solana. Farhaj, take it away, buddy.
Hey, I'll keep this short and sweet. Super excited to be here. And yeah, we've been really excited to kind of see that even through the last couple of months, activity with enrollments, activity with project completions, and most importantly, people deploying the testnet and getting off localhost has been at an all-time high. So Solana Core is a 6-week, super comprehensive kind of educational program that we built out specifically for builders who wanted to get technically competent in Solana to a point to where they can feel really comfortable to build projects of their own and get their first 1,000 users. And so, yeah, that's kind of what got us really excited to kind of collaborate with, Chase at the foundation. And, we worked with Gage, who helped lead the OpenSea integration for Solana, and then also, the legend James, who was recently with Italo, Solana Summer Gram champion. So yeah, at a glance, proof of fans is hilarious. But at a glance, just within the last 90 days, we've gotten, over 6,000 unique project enrollments in things that are not Solana Core. And so we can see the kind of like open source projects that we've developed are still drawing a lot of attention. Cumulatively, I think to date, we have right over 32,000 total enrollments for Solana projects. And, we're still seeing like kind of 25% of the people who participate in our projects going and deploying to testnet for the first time. Most importantly, Solana Core, thanks to a lot of the efforts from Superteam, actually, big shout out to Thunmei, big shout out to Thamar. We're seeing a lot of net new enrollments and people making their way for the first time to Core 6, since it is kind of a 6-week program, getting to completions for the first time this week. So yeah, now that we have 9,000, enrollments, hopefully going to cross 10K, within the next 2 weeks. I'm really excited to see how people do at the first demo day and what kind of products that they build, kind of second week of January next year. So yeah, things are good, things are rocking, and we're gonna kind of keep pushing this and helping more people build and get off localhost for the first time. So that's us.
Fantastic idea. Bringing the heat, bringing the developers. The one thing I think that the Solana ecosystem has done particularly well relative to other ecosystems is this focused on devs, right? Devs are where the value is. They create the applications that bring the users and create all the value, and love all the work that BuildSpace is doing to help bring those people along. So shout out to BuildSpace. Farhaj, there were like 86 comments about your pants though, man. So I don't know if you are wearing them, now would be the time to show them, or you want to keep them guessing. How about this? Stay around after the call, when Farhaj will show his pants or lack of pants. We'll find out then. All right, anyway, let's keep going on next. Want to go and talk a little bit about the validators. Validators obviously critical to the network. Decentralization, an important thing. And in fact, oftentimes has been used against Solana, erroneously, I might add. We have a Nakamoto coefficient here of 31. There's a lot of validators out there and they're moving very fast. Of course, over the last few weeks, there was a lot of FUD around whether the network would go down or whether it wouldn't. It obviously did not. And we want to get a little bit more detail on this from someone who knows this validator ecosystem in great detail. So I'd like to invite Ben from Cogent Crypto, to give us a quick, 1 or 2 minute update on the state of the validator community here.
All right. Thanks, everyone. So yeah, the general sentiment among validators seems to remain like really positive. All the conversations that I've had with others, like still in it for the tech, still like to see improvements, excited for FireDancer, and the general sentiment, yeah, it's quite positive. The validator profitability, I've seen this come up quite a few times. And really, so interestingly, with the hardware costs are coming quite a bit lower now, like the most reasonable price being $350 a month. That puts almost every validator on the network right now at a level of profit. There are still a few people who are running at a loss at 0%, but they could change just to 5% and be profitable. And also, so a lot of the SOL was unstaked. So the existing stake generates more rewards per amount. So this also translates to user staking returns being increased. I think the network level inflation is about 6.5% right now, a little less. But the rewards for any stake sold is around like 9.5. And then another kind of big update is Judo Solana is being gradually uptaken. I've seen more and more people reach out to me, ask how that setup process was. And now we're starting to see a lot of people either working on it or have done it. And interestingly, one thing that I was surprised to see, most validators have opted to share at least 92% of their MEV rewards. So meaning they're going to be taking an 8% commission. So that's awesome. I really do want to see a network that is actually pumping value back into the coin, not just into validators' pockets. So I'm happy to see that personally. And as critical mass happens, we'll actually see, I think, significant APY increases from stakers and just more value accrual to owning SOL.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yep. Shout out to Ben from Cogent Crypto. You've seen it in the chat. If you don't already know Ben, you got to go get educated. Cogent Crypto doing a lot of great work over here. Taking a quick pause to look at some of the Q&As that are coming in. Somebody asked if we'll get a presentation as a copy. Yes, we will. We'll be tweeting it out after this on the Superteam DAO handle. Somebody asked for breakout rooms at the end of this. If people are around, absolutely can do that as well. And then somebody asked, do you know what WOW means? Stick around for a few more minutes, and then we'll hear from the backpack team and maybe try and figure that out. Anyway, going back to it. And there's something much better at the end of this as well. There's a lot of different stuff happening at the end of this. Can we get a wow in the chat if you know what WOW is all about? Yeah, there we go. All right, let's go next to NFTs at a glance. NFTs, big deal on Solana, obviously brought in a lot of users, brought in a lot of builders. And I mean, let's just be honest, they're a lot of fun, right? So Solana has had tons of NFTs minted, lots of creators, 22 million of them, $4 billion in sales. And as you'll notice, that sales volume is still going up. And as we'll hear in just a second from Alex, things have not slowed down over the past month, despite all of the chaos. So Alex from Blocksmith Labs, please tell us all about the state of NFTs.
Yo, what's up? I feel like I'm representing the DGen side of Solana, but here we go. NFTs are great, they're fun. But yeah, even after the collapse, we have Mercury, our whitelist management tool for NFTs. We have seen like 50% decrease after the collapse. So we were seeing 30,000 monthly active users. We're now seeing 15 to 16,000. And after the collapse, we have seen Solana NFTs volume increase 300% in the couple of weeks after the collapse. And we have seen brands like, Web2 brands like Toys R Us, minting on Sol, dipping their toes into Web3, because we have a lot of NFT projects. So a lot of people think NFTs are just Ponzi's, but they're not, because there are different kinds of projects. Projects like BSL and Smith, we are like builders. We have built over 4 or 5 products over the last 8 months. So there are different kinds of projects, and I love what Solana is doing with their beauty. Honestly, I like it more than the other chains, because Solana is working on stuff that is actually important that can, and all of us projects like us can act like BDs and bring in all these Web2 partnerships. And that is what anybody's has done with Toys R Us. It's a good example. I think working on decentralization and stability of the network is more important than bringing some vanity clients. That is my hot take. But yeah, we've also seen multiple royalty enforcement protocols being built. Metaplex and Cardinal and Magic Eden have their own protocols. All of them have different pros and cons. Metaplex is easy to port over your already minted collections, and Cardinal and Magic Eden also have user approved port to the royalty enforcement protocol. We've seen that, and we've unfortunately done our autograde, the ascension process, just around the time, but we didn't stop, and we want to contribute to the culture and to the Solana ecosystem. That's what I love about the Solana NFT culture. It's unmatched. You don't see it anywhere. We have not seen people, not coming onto Twitter, talking, being active every day. We have not seen that slow down anything at all. And yeah, NFTs are a lot of fun. If you haven't dipped your toes in, if you're a DeFi user, if you're just casual Solana user, just come around NFTs. They're a lot of fun. Yeah. And yeah, we've also seen options trading being built by this is what I'm saying. NFT projects are not just Ponzi's. We see this weird mix of NFT projects building DeFi products. We're also planning to build lossless lotteries like based on premium bonds. So it's going to be weird. We are an NFT project. We're also building DeFi products. So it's just the concept of non-fungibility. People are seeing it as a way to raise seed capital. It's interesting how Solana has grown its culture into builders and people actually building true products rather than just being Ponzi's dropping more collections. Exciting times, man.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Blocksmith Labs. They got a collection out there called the Smiths that's worth checking out. They're building a bunch of tools around both NFT usage and building out NFTs. Definitely worth checking them out. All right, let's talk last bit here before we start to talk about the project updates, which I know everyone is keen for. Just quick thoughts on the community of Solana. It is growing rapidly, right? Like there's no other way to think about it. You can see we got some big numbers coming through over here. Lamport DAO, which is a DAO for developers started by Mert and a few other folks, is now past 800 members. Over on Superteam side, in the past 4 weeks, we've engaged with 2,500 people IRL across Vietnam, Germany, Turkey, and India. There's 11 new hacker houses coming next year, plus hacker house X's. So if you want to raise your own hacker house, you can actually go out there and do that. Shout out to Yaris for Superteam over there. And then we have 10 regionally focused kind of builder communities that are starting to come up right now. In addition to all the DAOs that now exist, it's more than 1,500, I believe, that are on Realms. This last point, this regionally focused builder communities, I think are going to be really important. There's about 10 of these right now. As I said, you can see them kind of all across the map. Shout out to all the homies at Mountain DAO, Either Fuse Mexico, ChristX, and Colin. The 4 super teams that we have, Athens DAO doing great work. And, of course, Metacamp and Soulmeet over there in Asia as well. And there's many more, I'm sure, that I missed off on this slide, which is a bummer. But the point is, I think these are where a lot of the community activations are going to happen. Anyone who knows what Superteam is all about, we help people learn, earn, and build on Solana. We've been doing this for about a year in India now. And I think that effort starts to pay off, right? When you have this regional focus where people know each other IRL and can see each other IRL, it ends up building up a little bit of kind of continuity and connection, which is why, like for the Build Space course, I think there's like 5,500 registrations from India, and then the next highest country is like 1,000 or something like that, or 500 or 600. It's just because when you have these deep social networks, you can start to get all these nice benefits coming out of them, things going viral and whatnot. So the two things that I just want to share out to everybody, if you're looking at this and you're looking to earn funds on Solana by contributing, go to earn.superteam.fun. Every bounty, grant, and job is in the ecosystem is in there. And if you're a sponsor watching this and you need some work done, go list it over there. And then if you're a builder and you're looking for something to build and you don't know what to do next, check out build.superteam.fun for a bunch of ideas on what you can build on Solana. All of these are both kind of like community owned. Earn is going to be open source within the next few weeks. We're working on it right now. Build is anyone can contribute to already. And so, yeah, that's the state of community. Community is feeling strong as well. All right, with that said, let's go over to the main event here, to the quick updates for some just stellar teams. We're going to have to keep this pretty short because I realize that we're already a little bit behind time. What we're going to do is each team will get about 2 minutes to present. I'll put a little note into the chat when there's about 20 seconds left. And then if you keep talking after the end of your, you'll get maybe 10 seconds grace period. And then if you keep talking, I will play this applause into the microphone. There we go. And the idea is we'll treat this like the Oscars, where you kind of get applauded off the stage, and that's how this is going to work. It should be fun. It should be fast. It should be focused on what has been shipped. The Solana Oscars, says Tony. That's right. Let's start off a little bit wow. Hopefully there's no Will Smiths in the crowd punching anybody. Let's start off here with Backpack. Armani and Tristan, what you got?
Okay, cool. So Backpack, quick and simple. So we've got a ton of new features coming out in Backpack. Let's start with identity stuff. So rolling out cross-chain identity. We have cross-chain usernames. We have profile pics. Basically, we're going to be turning the experience from pub keys into user profiles, so that will be exciting. We have push notifications coming out, so XNFT developers will be able to hook into this, push out notifications, whether you're building apps, NFT drops, if you're building community, whatever it might be. We've got Solana, we've got Ethereum. The XNFT ecosystem is starting to get built out. So we have some exciting stuff. We have TXO is probably one of the best ones. NFT marketplace inside of Backpack. It's pretty sweet. Where's Nokiamon? Nokiamon's like my favorite new project. They're building an XNFT. They're building this basically Pokemon on Solana. So what's pretty cool about this is you can see how they're hooking into the Backpack identity system and then building their NFTs and building their game all inside of XNFT. So super excited about what these guys are doing. One of our big focuses kind of in the next month or so is going to be our NFT collection. So the one collection, it's going to be the first example of an XNFT as a digital collectible. So everything that we're going to do with the NFT community is going to be done through Backpack. The whitelist, the mint, the community hub, you'll be able to, instead of clicking on the NFT and seeing the metadata, you'll click on it and the actual application will be bound to the artwork itself. And so, this is going to be the whitelist flow. There'll be a video, there'll be a whole minting process. It should be pretty cool. But that is all a secret and I'll share that for another time. And then lastly, we're building out kind of a messaging system. So you'll peer-to-peer messaging, you'll have the ability to do things like send friends mints, send friends games, do stuff like that, all using kind of the Backpack system. So that's it in Backpack land. Tons of stuff going on. Feel free to DM me if anybody wants to get started building with this stuff. Anchor v0.26 just got released today, so super excited about this. Check out the changelog for details, but if you're building smart contracts on Solana, you'll want to update. Among other things, we updated the Solana program version. It was pretty far behind, so now we're on 1.13. So that is exciting. We have optional accounts now. And namely, the big banger of a feature that we have in the SDK now is going to be auto PDA inference. So this is something that we've been working on for a while, something that Noah Prince has been contributing a bunch to. But basically, the end goal is that we'll get rid of client wrappers on Anchor because all the tricky account validation stuff will be, or not account validation, account inference will be done automatically on the client. So that's pretty exciting. So go check out Anchor 0.26.0. I'm sure there's other stuff I'm missing, but those are kind of the big high-level features. Super excited about everything, and thanks for having me.
Fantastic, buddy. Love to see it. Put a little wow in the chat just to celebrate Backpack. Man, these guys ship. Jesus. They cannot stop.
Oh, last thing, we have mobile. We have mobile coming out in about a month or so. So we also have mobile app.
The man just casually Steve Jobs us. So one more thing, we got mobile app coming out in a month. Love to see it. All right, fantastic. Shout out to Backpack and the folks there. Next up, want to invite the team from Margin to come up here. One of the, I think, sharpest teams in all of DeFi. They are the team that had me and many others saying "Vault me, daddy." With a straight face for a little while there. So pop a little VM into the chat to welcome Anders from Margin Fi up on the stage. Anders, you here?
Hey, yeah, thanks so much for having us. It's great to see chat going off. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, so we are Margin. We have kind of two main entities right now, or not entities, I should say, but two main work streams. So the first is Margin Fi, which we are the core contributors to. And Margin Fi is like a DeFi native prime brokerage. So we connect liquidity between different dexes on Solana right now. And we're actually like the first protocol to ever compose and cross margin two different derivatives dexes together, not just on Solana, but anywhere in crypto. So that's like the Margin Fi side. On that side, if any of you guys are like really big DeFi power users or you're interested in helping us work on some product iteration, we'd love to connect with you. Feel free to DM any of our accounts. We have something else we're working on that I'll talk about in a sec. It'd be cool to involve you guys in that. So that's like Margin Fi side. And then we also have the Margin Research side, which is our prop fund. So we have one of the most active MEV operations on Solana right now. And on that side, if any of you guys know any traders who maybe are looking for work after how the last few months have gone with funds blowing up, we'd love to connect with them. We're definitely looking to scale that side of our organization as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to here. As far as what's coming, we have a launch in mid-January that I would like to talk about, but we're not saying anything publicly yet. But yeah, definitely be on the lookout for what we're doing then. It should be pretty exciting.
Can you give us any teasers of the direction that this update might be in?
Yeah, it's so it's an extension of Margin Fi. Like the functionality of it isn't anything new, but it's definitely like a huge increase in scope. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, Margin Fi, big Margin Fi update coming middle of January.
All right, very cool. Well, if you have a prediction on what they're going to do, tweet it at me, and then whoever's got the best or closest prediction, I'll throw $25 or something your way. Shout out to the Margin Fi team. Appreciate it, Anders. All right, continuing with these lightning updates, let's go over to WordCell. WordCell is actually a project out of Superteam. Just very clear that Web3 social is going to be important at some point, right? And here we have a team that's building that on Solana, previously won the Web3 track at the Solana Hackathon. Drop a little, what should we drop in there? Just drop a W in there for Parag and for WordCell. Parag, take it away, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Cash. Hey, everyone. Awesome to be here. I'm Parag from WordCell. We're essentially building the foundation of decentralized social applications on Web3 and Solana in general. So we started off with a publishing stack for which we won the hackathon this year only. But we're building the protocol layer for devs to build kind of the next generation of Web3 apps that just don't suck, which is like Web3 sovereignty and a UX that can scale globally. We're also building Chirp, which is a decentralized microblogging app, which will be an XNFT on Backpack and also on Saga and iOS. So January and Q1 of next year would be very exciting for that. Over the last 4 weeks, we've actually shipped something really exciting. So we've opened up WordCell for the first time since launch. So every user on WordCell right now can invite 2 more people on the platform. It's super simple. You can find it in your dashboard and you have 2 invites. We've also added support for Backpack, and you can also invite someone. It used to be just SNS domains, but we've added a .wow domain for all the Backpack usernames. So if you have a Backpack username, you can use WordCell with a .wow domain. So that's super cool. And yeah, that is the update from our side. This is our team, short and sweet. Lean teams are not famous right now, but we do. We got a lean team. We keep it nice. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. Back to you, Cash.
Cheers. A shout out to Parg. And shout out to Shek, who could not be on this call because it is 10:30 p.m. in India, and Shek is 145 years old, but also just a giga-brain dev who we love dearly. And miss him. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody over at WordCell. All right, let's keep it good times going. Next up, we got hyperspace. Man, I think that the kinds of things that people are doing with the NFT scene right now are just massive. They're well beyond my pay grade. And hyperspace is just kind of leading the way in terms of building something that's built for users in particular. My favorite marketplace, says Ujwal. Hyperspace, the goats, says Sheldon. If Brian is not here, I'm going to riot, says Alex. I'm hoping Brian stayed so we don't have any riots. Can we do a little spaceship emoji? For hyperspace over here, or a little rocket actually will probably be just fine. A little rocket in the chat, please. Brian, if you're here, let's hear the update.
Hey everybody, hope my voice is coming through. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to sound like Batman going through puberty today, but happy to represent hyperspace. Honored to be here. As I'm sure many of you guys know, we're a marketplace on Solana. We've been doing a couple cool things. We've been mainly creator royalty focused in the past couple of months, obviously hot topic. Happy to go through how we've been working with Cardinal and other enforcement protocols and programs also moving forward. I think it goes without saying that we're happy to support anyone that's interested in launching products in that direction or platforms that are building in that direction. One thing that we've been really keen on and also focusing on is our Power APIs built by a man who's staring at me who doesn't want to be doxxed, known as always has been on Twitter. But we're really pushing on this hyper. Actually, there's a new name for it that we're using internally that I am keen to sharing. But hyper blank is what I'll call for now. That we're building, supporting, and giving API access to 200 plus, and I want to say it's more now, ecosystem projects as the aggregator data and trading enabler within Solana. One thing that I would like to use this opportunity for is we're always looking for new talent, specifically in the product designer era. It's hard to hire good people that have good visions and good artistic and graphic design talent in the product designer realm. So if you're interested / know anyone, please let me know directly or through our Discord. Right before this call, very strategically, we announced a couple exciting announcements that kind of gives a accumulation of everything that we've put together in the past couple of months or so. We're calling it 12 Days of Hypeness. It's really just for the community, really for fun. 12 artists, 12 days, and 12 ferments. Frankly, I'll leak some alpha here in the sense that it's probably not 12, and it's probably a little bit more than 12. And we've partnered up with artists that you may know and artists that you might not know, and we're here to always support top ones and enable emerging ones. And we just think it'll be a fun way to provoke creator royalty enforcement, but also just a good way to end the year. I think we've had rough times recently, and I think we all deserve a holiday. We deserve some gifts. So we're happy to become the Santa Claus of the Solana ecosystem. And we have a couple surprise artists there that you might not even expect. So we're excited for the next 2 weeks to come. And ideally, it's something that everyone can participate in, and we're looking forward to enabling the entire community to have fun together. I think Hypeness probably is a good summary level of where our heads are at. To drop some alpha that I've been leaking on my personal Twitter that my team members are angry at me for. We're looking to launch SFT support soon on our marketplace. So
fantastic.
Semi-functional tokens. And one
Brian,
more
too strong for the applause. We're a little bit over time. Can you do it in like 2 seconds, buddy?
We have one surprise feature coming probably Q1 2022 that I will continuously leak.
But you can't say we got one more thing and then not drop the alpha, Brian.
A way for you to create NFTs whenever you want at any point in time with whatever art that you have in place.
All right, there we go. Cool. All right, shout out to Brian and his ability to talk through the applause. I guess the man is used to hearing applause because they do a lot of great work over at Hyperspace. Let's go over to now our friends at Fire Dancer. I mean, if anyone was at Breakpoint, you know Fire Dancer was the talk of the town. If you cared all about decentralization and the performance of the Solana network, you know Fire Dancer is a big deal. And I'm super excited today to hear an update from Richie Patel Richard Patel, excuse me, from the FireDancer team. Richard, are you here?
Yeah, both works. Thanks, Cash. Happy to give you an update. So I'm an engineer on the FireDancer team. What we do is we're building a new Solana validator client from scratch. Let's go to the next slide, please. Oh, well, we don't have slides. I don't remember.
Yep.
We do. That's good. Cool. Right. So FireDancer is being built by a dozen of engineers and quants at Jump Trading. There's been questions why we do this. The goals align quite well, actually. Lots of the engineering challenges that we face in Solana client engineering and hosting in general are pretty similar to building the global trading system as Jump currently does, has been doing. We're taking a high-performance computing approach, and that's supposed to increase Solana network throughput, efficiency, and resiliency. Equally as important, Solana protocol is not owned by any one company. We're working together with many core contributors such as Solana Labs, Jido, Mango, Elusive, and many more. And I think that's one of the most exciting developments in the Solana protocol. As far as what we've shipped so far, we've rewritten the peer-to-peer layer with a high bandwidth implementation that bypasses the Linux kernel networking stack. That means we're able to ingest 100 gigabit of network traffic on a machine. Note that this is only referencing the network traffic, but not actually being able to process that. Still, that gives great additional resiliency in case of packet floods and things like this. We've hardware accelerated Sigarify and various other components, and so far also shipped the improved block packing engine. One thing that's not mentioned on the slides, we're also contributing protocol specs and are trying to specify the entirety of the Solana protocol, mainly also to help other contributors develop their own clients. As far as help needed, not that much yet. We do plan to release large test nets, and everyone is, of course, welcome to join. We'll work with validator companies to make sure that when things come to deploying in production on mainnet, everyone is able to do so and has the right hardware. So this is a quick overview of the Frankendancer V1 architecture. We call it Frankendancer because we try to give the benefits of FireDancer before the whole thing is ready by integrating the Solana Labs validator. I'll spare you the details, but right now we've replaced the Ingress components and can pretty soon attach to a live Solana validator. And in the V2 architecture, we're going to basically replace the entire block packing pipeline. So that means FireDancer is going to directly pack and distribute its own blocks to the network with improved block packing and so on and so forth. The rest can be mocked out for now. And if you want to follow on more on the developments, please have a look at the Jump Crypto website, or feel free to contact us over Twitter or over emails that should be linked on the slide. Thanks a lot.
Fantastic. Shout out. Throw a little FireDancer in the chat if you are excited about FireDancer coming up. I know I saw a bunch of people were interested in there. Alex has a question. What's the potential TPS for Solana post FireDancer? Richie, do you know the answer to that?
I don't. We will know when we have the whole thing implemented, but for now, I think it's better to not overpromise.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, shout out to FireDancer and the great work that's being done over there. Let's go over next to the aforementioned Giga Chads here of OpenBook. So we have Max, aka Mango Max, here on the call. Like I already said, OpenBook was just like critical. It was a massive problem that needed to be solved, and somebody had to just step up. And Max, along with a few people, did. So please throw in a little Mango into the chat, or just type Max. And Max, let's hear about OpenBook.
Hey everyone. Yeah. So OpenBook is kind of like, right, just collecting the bits and pieces that were lying around in terms of software from Project Serum. Relaunching it, and then just starting like a larger community effort. It's kind of interesting to do like a Zoom call with 100 people and decide what the new fees for a protocol should be. I think the process is definitely chaotic. A lot of people with hidden agenda on the table where we could like somehow agree to something in the end. It was also very chaotic. I think there were 3 pull requests just changing one line because people couldn't agree even after discussion, but it's mainly done now, and I think, yeah, the process is, it's on DevNet. If you're integrating with OpenBook already, it's a good moment to test those changes, and probably on Monday we'll put them live. That's the rough idea. I think there's a bunch of other things that have been discussed that should be fixed, but it's really, really hard to do those things because everyone is just like, you know, like spending a few hours on the weekend on this project. Honestly speaking, it's like a bunch of people who just pitched in last minute, and I think the whole thing started actually on Saturday. So it's been since then 4 weeks of Saturdays and Sundays, slowly chugging along. But we're looking for people who want to work on it and who want to fill the void, right? We're excited to work on something that is like super fundamental and like a base layer primitive for the ecosystem. Yeah, it's basically a tough job. The reviews are probably quite, I would say, detailed. There's a lot of reviewers. It's probably like an oversupply in auditors. Luckily, Otter and Neodyme are doing like free audits for us. So, but yeah, it's definitely like a cool thing. I would love to have the time myself, but we have Mango V4 coming up next week. So I'm just jumping back into crunch mode and like going on that next. So it will be a bit more quiet for us until like, I think New Year's. But yeah, if someone's here who's like experienced with the code base, go for it. I can just run down like a few features that people have complained about that are kind of like free for all. I think incentivization of cranks. So how do we make sure people run cranks, they're incentivized to do so? What's like the impact there on fees? There's a bunch of ideas, but no one has implemented something. There's some like better integration into Jupyter that can be snatched. Basically, right now it's very like convoluted to just place a trade and go. You need to create an account, whatever. Destroy the account at the end. It's really great, like in terms of like how the program is designed. But there's a pull request where someone tried it, but then a lot of people were like, "Hey, we missed out on the fees, and it's not really finished." So also some like broken pieces there that need to be cleaned up. And yeah, if someone wants to jump right in, you're welcome. There's also a new effort starting. Basically, there used to be an open source GUI accompanying it. We asked Solana Foundation to give a grant, and so there's a small grant for people to work on that as well. Would be really cool if there's a solid reference GUI that's kind of like up to date on the last years of Solana development. Remove some get programming accounts calls like the usual, yada yada. Make it really fast, usable, and bring it up to date. That's kind of like the things we want to do until the hackathon, and then there will probably be a bunch of ideas and like I would say like a big free for all for everyone who wants to like make the next version of the most important DEX in Solana. So yeah, kind of
pretty big updates coming through, pretty essential work. If you are in the neighborhood or if you have the ability or the interest, please get involved. Indeed, my little clapping not seeming to work as well as I thought it would, but shout out to Max. As Tristan said, Max has the mango to all of our hearts right now. So shout out to Max and all the good work being done over on Open Book. Keep an eye out for Mango as well, obviously coming back next week. All right, I think we have 2 or 3 more. So I'm gonna play the music really loud this time at the end of the 2 minutes. Next up, we got dialect, right? I think there's a lot of complaints from normal people that Web3 protocols are impossible to use or just require all sorts of crazy kind of mental gymnastics. Dialect is a team that focuses on the UX, right? They make beautiful things that are easy to use. And we got a blue heart in the chat for them right now. I'd love to invite them up. Next, drop a little, what should we do? A little
say GM.
Let's do a GM in the chat for our friends over from Dialect. Yeah, Chris, take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Cash. And thanks for having us on. What an incredible lineup. Thrilled to be here and love the energy in the Zoom today. So yeah, so we're Dialect, and we are a smart messaging protocol for wallet-to-wallet chat and DApp notifications. We launched our developer tooling back in March, and today we're live or integrating with over 50 projects across the Solana ecosystem. Say very happily, also Superteam Earn. Smart messaging is our why Web3. These are interactive messages. You can send and receive tokens, bid on NFTs, accept offers on NFTs, vote multi-sigs, buy merch, literally any like wallet authenticated button on the internet, you can now embed directly in a message. We think it's a small but profound improvement to how we engage both between each other and with brands and projects. The Smart Messages spec is open sourced on GitHub. It's in alpha, so it's still changing, but we would love for you to check it out. It's on our GitHub. I'll drop a link. We are thrilled today to officially announce our Dialect app. This is a consumer-grade mobile messaging app powered by our messaging infrastructure, and it's live on iOS. as part of this launch, we're also announcing this ridiculous thing that we're doing, which we call NFT chat stickers. They're literally chat stickers, but they're NFTs. So if you have them in your messaging wallet, you can use them in chat. We are like unreasonably excited about this and have been having a ton of fun. We're working with like a dozen of our favorite artists across the Solana ecosystem, some major PFP projects to launch these. Let me hop over and show you, like 30 minutes ago, we literally just announced all of this. This is our announcement. These are Pixel Pepes done by one of our favorite artists, Marcolino. And today you can join the in-app waitlist for Dialect. And by joining that waitlist, you can claim your first sticker pack. We'll be minting early in the new year. We're using compressed NFTs and some of the other Gigabrand tech on Dialect. On Solana by Solana and Metaplex. It's iOS only today, but try it out. We have intake form for Android, and we are actually already deployed on Saga, and we'll be live on Saga on day one. So we were the first native app after Solflare and Phantom, and we've got some cool stuff coming to Backpack soon. So try it out. I'm going to drop my invite link in the chat, and I hope to see you all in there.
Fantastic. Right on time there, Chris, as well. Appreciate it.
What can I say?
For the stickers, and you got to get that Pixel Pepe. What else? What are you doing with your life if you're not going after the Pixel Pepe? All right. So shout out to Dialect. Let's go over now to Zamp. Zamp is one of the projects that I'm really excited about that doesn't get necessarily as much love on crypto Twitter, since they're kind of heads down on building, but they're looking to bring on more businesses and more kind of just institutions across the world to using finance on these crypto rails. So I believe Raghav is going to be sharing it from Zamp. Drop a little Z in the chat for Zamp to welcome Raghav up on stage.
Hey guys, Raghav from Zamp here. Super excited. So we're launching a product called Roma today. So let me start with a few questions, right? So how do you manage your banking today? Is it seamless? You know, we have digital assets and fiat. How do you manage that, both of those seamlessly? Let's say you're holding Sol, but you want to pay someone and they want to receive money in INR. How do you do that? You have to off-ramp it through an exchange. You have to withdraw it to a bank account. Then you have to make the payout. That's not that seamless, is it? So we're bridging that gap with a banking solution that bridges, like, that can manage both fiat and digital assets. So you can receive money in fiat and digital assets. You can custody it in fiat and digital assets in a secure and compliant way. So your funds are always safe. Don't worry about that. Then you can pay it out in fiat and digital assets as well. So now if you're holding Sol, someone wants to receive INR, you select Sol and INR on the dashboard, you hit a button, you hit pay, that's all. It's that seamless. Now, over time, we'll introduce cards as well. So you can get debit cards and credit cards on your custody. Then we'll have treasury. So, you know, interest rates are high. With the amount you're holding with us, you can get interest on top of that. So it's a full suite banking experience for fiat and digital assets. We're only launching with Ethereum and Solana. So we've shipped that right now, Ethereum and Solana. We'll add other currencies very soon, very shortly. So excited for that. Today, we're opening access to only 100 people, 100 members. So you can go to our website, sign up, start using the platform. You know, we want to build with the community. We want to get your feedback, suggestions. So go sign up on the website. It's free to sign up right now. You can start using it. Only 100 members, guys. Don't miss this. Super excited.
All good. And with some time to spare as well, definitely check this out. Roma, big deal. The link is in the chat. It is beautiful. It is seamless to use. And I think it's going to help bring a lot more people to the Solana ecosystem. So shout out to Raghav, shout out to everybody at Zap. We got to think that the link is not working. We will be sharing the link right after the call as well. Oh, there. I think Niblin's put it back in there. And indeed, apologies. There was a little bit of spam there. The guy had some kind of thing. I couldn't remove him. So apologies to everybody, but he's gone now. Shout out to Raghav. All right. We are just past time. I promise you, if you stick around for 3 more minutes, you will not regret it, because we're now moving on to our last update, which is going to be a very fun one. There's a surprise video coming at the end of this update as well. Do not go anywhere as we hear from our friends at Pyth, the multi-chain oracle, just doing the Lord's work, helping DeFi. Hey, there's one thing we learned from FTX, it's the importance of DeFi. And DeFi doesn't work without oracles here. So drop a little Pyth in the chat, or drop a little Saeed in the chat. Either way, I know Saeed's got some fans, including myself. Saeed, take it away, buddy.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Pyth is an oracle. Main kind of purpose of an oracle is to bring off-chain data on-chain in a secure, transparent, verifiable way. What makes Pyth super unique is that it works with first-party data providers. So these are institutions that are participating in price discovery, across the globe. And what Pyth does is stitches together kind of a global picture of what the price of an asset is at any given point in time. It's really hard to get this data because it's coming from the people who actually own and are generating the data. So you have Pyth working with institutions like Jump Trading, Jane Street, Binance, KuCoin, all these various market participants bringing that data on chain. So that the world of DeFi can use it and build products around it. So just a little background on Pyth's journey. I mean, it launched in mainnet August 2021, and it's been a wild ride since then. That the Pyth team has just been executing tremendously well and consistently over the past year and a half. Reached 2 billion in total value secured in March. Launched a bunch of products and features, both security upgrades and reliability and robustness upgrades throughout that period of time. 650K client downloads just in the month of November, a bunch of mainstream media adoption and coverage, and just consistently increasing the quality of the data by onboarding more data providers and clear market adoption, especially in the Solana ecosystem. Shout out to Solon, Tulip, Hero, Mango, a bunch of the great Pyth users out there. Many of them on this call today. Over 75 data publishers. Kind of mentioned some of the types of publishers we have. What's really cool is that each one of these institutions, some of them are TradFi, some of them have never interacted with a blockchain before, and now each one of these guys is actually submitting transactions on chain on Solana. One of the big ones recently was SIBO. That's this kind of big, well-known institution in the US is now submitting transactions on Solana and interacting with the blockchain. And thanks to the Pyth network, they were able to get up and running to do that. Shout out to our consumers, over 100. Kind of mentioned some before: Sega, Drift, Friction. So good publisher growth, good data feed growth. We had a bunch of the fan tokens come out this month. That was really fun ahead of the World Cup. Saw a lot of activity around that. Pyth's just been growing its product consistently. Now we're over 180 price feeds. So yeah, if you want to get in touch, join the Pyth Discord, and if you're building something in DeFi, hit us up.
That's right. Fantastic. Shout out to Saeed. People loving Saeed. They want to know about that jacket. They want to know a bunch of stuff. So many things have shipped in the last month. I mean, the amount of partnerships that Pyth has done in the last 4 weeks is crazy. Still bringing on people, still building trust in the mainstream. And with that, we are done with the updates, but don't go anywhere because Pyth has a special new video. This is the world premiere of this new video now. It's a minute long. And my good buddy Akshay BD is going to share it from his screen because his internet is a lot better than mine.
As a bank, we believe our customers always come first. That is why we ensure that the returns they get on their hard-earned money are always peanuts. Rich in vitamin B poor, our peanuts protect you from the harmful effects of wealth creation. Our peanuts are watered with the tears of millennials, the poorest generation in recent times. We lend your savings as loans for much higher interest and produce a delicious spread. But that is for us. You can enjoy this one peanut with chocolate sauce. Fees and charges extra. Trust us. Or you could trust a centralized crypto exchange. Who better than a bunch of stimulant-addicted, ineffectively altruistic, cucumber-chomping, league-playing, office-sleeping, horny degens to handle your life savings? Well, your grandkids may never go to college, but at least they'll have your nuts. Or trust no one. Learn to build trustless protocols on Solana DeFi. Join the Solana DeFi workshop on 19 December. Brought to you by Pyth and Superteam. Oh, and fuck this guy.
Oh my God.
Shout out. Let's hear it in the chat if you like the video. Shout out to Pyth. Shout out to Dave and Moore and a bunch of people on the Superteam side for putting it together. Ending with the fuck this guy a day after he gets arrested. Pretty good. All right. This is going to be out there on Twitter as well. When you see it, please do retweet it. Let the world know DeFi is not going anywhere. and it's more important than ever. All right, that is it. The last quick thing I'll say, the last additional special bonus, if you're watching this and you're looking to earn over the holidays, we are going to be launching at Superteam 10 days of earning, 1 bounty a day for the next 10 days based on the projects that just presented. Starting off with a deep dive bounty on dialect. So if you're interested, you want to check out their app, you want to see what's going on, write a little essay on it, how it works, why it's awesome, check that out. The first prize, I think, will be $1,000 for the best essay. Anybody can do it. You'll find that on earn.superteam.fun. And that, my friends, is going to bring it to a close. This is the end of the first ever Solana ecosystem community call hosted by Superteam. Give us a follow on Superteam DAO on Twitter and let us know if we should do this again. All right, folks, you don't got to go home, but you cannot stay here. Hopefully your faith in Solana has been reaffirmed a little bit and some of these awesome teams. We will catch up with y'all another time. Adios. Goodbye, everybody. Now I will play some very aggressive rap music until everybody leaves. Actually, maybe not. This is being recorded. Never mind. I will just talk inanely until people leave.